Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to the NPC Reviews. And it's convention season at the Random Hamlet. Woo! And you know what that means? Covention! Wait, what? Isn't it mostly panels and overpriced collectibles? It has smaller crowds, more for people to actually do, and is comparatively cheaper. Covention it is then. Go on. I do like stalking cartoon characters. Alright, let's give it a shot. In today's episode of The Owl House, Episode 5, Covention. Our story continues with a dramatic reading.
Emboldened by the dishonor Hecate had shown, Azura lifted her staff to the cotton candy skies and shouted, "I challenge you to a witch's duel!"
Which prompts our dear king to claim that he could draw better than the illustrations, adds King of Artists to his titles,
Are you just making this up now?
and boasts over the offering supposedly given to him. But all Luz has to offer is more Azura. Ida is not a fan.
Please stop reading that. Its flowery language is an insult to witches.
And goes to say that it's driving the customers away, and apparently the other vendors as well. Ida deems it a bad omen when the plot shows up with Willow and Gus.
It's the annual Covention. Student witches get to see all the types of covens before they're placed in one.
Job fairs are important, don't get me wrong, but I fail to see how they're fun. Is Ida going?
Ida, can we go?
Absolutely not.
Ha! We'd have to go. Roll credits. Turns out Ida has issues with the convention.
Sure, it's like a fun club for witches, but you're also giving up your magical independence to be part of a crooked system.
And let something slip.
In any case, I haven't been to one since we were girls.
Getting a whiff of backstory, Luz asserts now they have to go, and when Ida still refuses, Luz and King play dirty as siblings do.
Screech! Screecheth, did she? For the screeching did worsen it.
Stop it! Stop it! I will literally do anything to stop this!
Grumble, 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 grumble. And with that, they arrive at the convention center. Ida attempts to cover up, as not being part of a coven is against the law. Willow tries to sell them to her to no avail, and Luz takes it in.
Was I even alive before now?
You look well for dead.
They go over the Big Nine and smaller affiliated covens, much to Ida's continued annoyance, and she gets spotted. Luz eyes the construction coven. Let's just hope this is her final form, and gets played by the Illusion Coven. Luz is naturally excited at the camaraderie and belonging of it, but Ida points out the catch.
Watch closely, Luz. When you join a coven, all your other magic is sealed away. From now on, that kid will only be able to make illusions.
So magical neutering is a selling point for you.
Since I never joined a coven, I can do every kind of magic. That's why I'm the most powerful witch on the Boiling Isles.
So you're saying you're the strongest because everyone else is handicapped. After which, King confuses promotional swag for tribute. This cuts over to the Emperor's Coven. Willow and Gus are excited, but Ida continues to gripe. But Luz points out,
Coven's bad, individualism good. But I'm still figuring this world out, so I'm going to go in there and make up my own mind.
when the student actually absorbs what you teach. And Ida follows to avoid the fuzz. From there, the panel begins, emceed by Principal Bump.
In the jewel of the Coven system and the enforcers of his will, the Emperor's Coven. Each member handpicked to help usher in a new age of controlled magic.
Panels and propaganda. Not a game I brought a dice set for. During the speech, we catch sight of Amity, and directly after, the leader of the Emperor's Coven is revealed, Lilith. Much to Ida's surprise.
You know her?
You could say that.
After a short speech where Lilith says, "Be more," selling the coven, the panel ends. Luckily, afterward, Luz continues and runs into Amity. Literally. Luz tries to play nice, but Amity is still bitter.
You're the one that got me in trouble with Principal Bump, and I never get in trouble.
Amity tells Luz she can't be here, that's for actual witches, to which Luz responds that she's learning from a powerful witch and a ferocious demon. Unfortunately, King can't sell it, and Amity puts her foot down.
You and your pet are giving witches in training a bad name.
Which triggers righteous indignation and fan mode in Luz.
Just like the good witch Azura said when facing down her rival Hecate at the bog of immediate regret, I challenge you to a witch's duel.
Ooh, drama.
Which Amity accepts. The terms are,
If I win, you apologize to King for squashing his cupcake.
Good night, sweet child.
And 2, you admit that humans can be witches too. Fine by me. But when I win, not only do you have to tell the whole Covention you're not a witch, you have to stop training. Forever.
That seems kind of lopsided. But she accepts anyway, and is sealed with an everlasting oath. This is fine, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Meanwhile, Ida's trying to sneak out when her bootstepper sister catches sight of her.
What are you wearing? You look like some sort of trash collector. Oh right, you are.
Some embarrassing barbs are exchanged, and Lilth wonders why Ida's here when she gets this notion.
You're here to join the Emperor's Coven!
I'd laugh too. Insults like not as smart as you think you are and degenerate are thrown around, which leads to bragging.
I'm mentoring the next generation of powerful witch students into the world.
Well, I have a student, and I bet she could wipe the floor with any of your prissy little blue bloods.
Hey, more drama, y'all.
Just then, Lilth shows up, giving the sisters the chance to compare their proteges in mentoring ability. In a somewhat surprising turn, Lilth banishes the guards for the day. Does she want to ease things for Ida, or see what she can do with no distractions? Who's to say? Luz and Ida start their training, but soon realize Ida hasn't taught her any spells, while Amity is flexing strong. Doubt and determination are buffeted against each other in our heroes as the duel commences, also making a very public display that Luz is a human. Kind of think wanting to keep a low profile would be handy for a wanted criminal, but okay. From there, Ida explains that she set up traps, and Luz needs to lure Amity to them. But Luz,
Even if I win now, I lose.
has to be.
Noble.
Fighting begins and Amity pulls out a big old pile of muck, and Luz cheeses it with the abomination following and triggering one of the traps, surprising all. Meanwhile, King returns, weighed down in his promotional merch. The fight continues, and Amity seems to be catching on. King attempts to force support for Luz, but falls by his loot into the fighting pit. Poetic, where Luz tries to keep Amity safe. However, he triggers the trap revealing the cheat. Amity is furious, but Lilith is pleased.
I do believe this means you lose.
Luz tries to explain herself, but Amity is having none of it. This is where Ida makes her perception check.
A power glyph from the Construction Coven.
Turns out Amity was magically juiced, aka
She cheated.
by Lilith's doing.
I only did that because I knew you would cheat.
Still cheated. Welcome down to my level.
Luz runs after Amity, and while the children go to sort things out, the adults act like children.
You were defeated. Don't get heated. Get your stank face treated.
No more rhymes now, I mean it!
Anybody want a peanut?
And without Mother Clawthorn there to pull them apart, they resort to blows. CB? I think I'm starting to enjoy the drama. As the fires flare, Luz tracks down Amity to apologize, but she has a lot to unpack.
I have been working my whole life to get to the top. You lost. You cheated. Say it. Say you're not a witch.
Amity, what about her trying to learn invalidates your own achievements? And Luz admits it, but
I'm training hard to be one.
as that shakeup to Amity's paradigm progresses, the sisters continue their bout, quite expertly as well, in the fighting and the animation. Still, Ida's cockiness, because they're birds, allows Lilith to get the upper hand, but Ida is never without some trick in her bag.
Lily, wait. The curse. Look at me. Look at my face. The curse is worsening and I can't keep up with it. I don't know how much time I have left. I just had to see my sister for possibly the last time.
Ida,
Especially dirty tricks, and she flees. Back with the more mature pair, Amity flimsily scoffs at the light spell, and Luz explains that she's had to improvise as magic doesn't come naturally. With that, Amity undoes the oath, showing that she does in fact have standards.
Humans have no magical ability, but I doubt that'll stop you.
After Amity broods off, King comes back having shaken off his hoarding urge, and Ida comes to whisk them away. But Luz needs to know, will she ever be a true witch? To which Ida responds,
What? I don't know. Who's a true witch?
and they leave, Ida tantalizing Luz with other aspects of her mysterious past. As that goes on, Lilith laments.
you make it so hard to want to help you, Idolin.
Lilith, I see you let the owl lady get the best of your temper. Just remember what Emperor Bellows has promised you.
I will capture her, ma'am. You have my word.
And the episode ends with more mystery. Ooh. There's a lot going on at the convention. First, the world building continues to impress, as it and the exposition are still in service to the characters and their story. Also, we found out this symbol from the Owl House and other places belong to the Emperor's Coven, showing just how much of a presence they, and by extension the Emperor, has. The world building in this episode really shows the
Dark side.
of the Boiling Isles. The conformatorium, while bad, gets worse with the added context. Considering how easily Ida seems to move around, it would be easy to forget she's a wanted criminal. As for episode 2, it showed the grungy, grounded and day-to-day side of the Isles, and Adagast could easily be brushed aside as an isolated incident. Covention really shows the evils of this society and what it means for the people and the characters. As for the characters, King and Luz's bonding from before has stuck, which is good to see. Luz being tempted by the camaraderie of the Coven system makes sense given her previous social isolation, but most people are here for the Ida and Amity character details. Ida is a criminal because she refuses to join, and that syncs up with her previous actions, including why she would be opposed to Luz learning the traditional way at Hexside. Also, the introduction of Lilth gives her someone to play off of in new ways that will last, as opposed to the one-shots with the guards. And who doesn't like the reveal of a mysterious past? Amity is shown to be under a lot of pressure. The exact details aren't known, but as mentioned before, everything seems to indicate it's coming from home. That might also explain her rather specious attitude towards Luz.
Show me what you got, human.
Honestly, her thought that Luz is a threat to her being the best is weird. Either Luz can't do magic and will embarrass herself, or if she can, she's just another student for Amity to trounce and nothing really changes. It's not rational. But that's the point. The pressure she is under causes her to view everything as a possible threat, and this is the issue she needs to grow past. Considering how she has standards at the end shows that she is capable though. Back to Luz. Up to this point the question was, will Luz learn magic? As of the last episode, she has. So now that the physical barrier has been broken, she has to ask herself the big question. What does being a witch mean to her? For some it's freedom, or being the best, or duty fulfilled is duty repaid. This is the underlying question Luz is going to ponder, implicitly and explicitly, for much the rest of the series. And who doesn't love other people's drama?
What are you getting at?
Not dying!
This is an essential and good episode. It adds a lot of context and relationship dynamics, while also introducing the big bad's dragon, Lilith, and alludes to the big bad himself, the Emperor. Because he's the Emperor? Do I need to pull out another Star Wars clip? You were right though. Covention was fun. Yeah, I think I'll go more in the future and watch people's lives explode on them. So give Covention a watch, and until next time, fare thee well, my lovelies.